Welcome back to By the Box Season 2, Episode 2. This time we got Blackstorm Rising and Secrets of Ancients going. So jumping straight into Blackstorm Rising, the A and B tiers, no sir, nah, nothing in here quite like that to fit such categories. So we're gonna jump straight into the C tier with Blackstorm Rising, and I get to talk about my favorite archetype because the first card I have in C tier is Black Whirlwind. Black Whirlwind is a continuous spell card that has the effect when a Blackwing monster is normal summoned to your side of the field, you can add any Blackwing monster from your deck to your hand with less attack than the monster that you normal summon. To say that this card is the heart and soul of Blackwings is a bit of an understatement, to the point where their best combo starter, Simoon the Poison Wind, is only as good as he is because he activates this card directly from the deck. It's a built-in engine for the deck, and they are famously very fast and aggressive, and one of the things that makes them so fast and consistent is this card. And by consistent, I mean consistently destroying your opponent going second. And the biggest facilitator of this is this card, because their devastating extra deck monsters are typically level 7. The majority of their good non-tuner monsters are level 4 monsters that can be normal summoned like Zephyros, Bora, and Chris, and they are all capable of searching their excellent level 3 tuner, Gale the Whirlwind. Whether Blackwings are a rogue deck or not is debatable. I do think they are certainly capable of beating a lot of the meta decks, but they just need to go second and they need the right hand. But to me, that's good enough to say they're a rogue deck. You still see them hit King of Games here and there, and Black Whirlwind being just the absolute vitality of Blackwings, I think justifies putting it in C tier. Not to mention that Blackwings do have plenty of potential going forward. They have a lot of untapped cards that are not in Duel Links yet. And sure as you're born, regardless of what support Blackwings get and however it's built, they will run this card and they will run it at 3 copies. And I guess I can sort of mention Blackwing Bora the Spear in this as well. He's another ultra rare in this box. Sees play in every single Blackwing deck. He's one of their best combo extenders because he can special summon himself if you control another Blackwing, so long as it's not another Bora the Spear. And that effect is not once per turn, so you can summon as many Boras as you want this way in one turn. And this has potential for Exceed plays with Zephyros the Elite and also Synchro plays like I mentioned earlier. I'm not going to rank him though because I don't see him nearly as vital as Black Whirlwind, but I think he's worth mentioning. So continuing in C tier, we get to talk about another ultra rare spell card, Cards of Consonance. Very simple card, discard a dragon type tuner monster with 1,000 or less attack to draw 2 cards. This card is excellent in Blue Eyes and always has been. It's been run at 3 copies in them forever and probably always will be so long as the builds don't change considerably out of nowhere. Now the way they normally use this card is to send White Stone of Ancients to the graveyard to then draw 2 cards, and then during the end phase, White Stone of Ancients effect will activate, which will special summon either a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a Dragon Spirit of White directly from your deck. And it does turn the card into a +1 as opposed to its normal card neutral value. But outside of that, it improves the consistency of Blue Eyes and helps them cycle through their deck. Something that they need because they are notoriously bricky, and that's why this card is so good in them. But it should also be noted that it is good in Dragoonity as well, and it has the weird occasional synergy you wouldn't think of, like Debris Dragon for example. It is a very good card, but I don't think that this box is the way to get it since it appears in the Blue Eyes Evolution structure deck, which if you're trying to get Cards of Consonance, my immediate assumption would be you're trying to build Blue Eyes, so I would go through that structure deck instead. And that's gonna do it for the categories for Blackstorm Rising. Like I said, there really isn't a whole lot here, but I do have some stray thoughts, but let's talk about the poster boy. Black Winged Dragon, unofficially part of the Blackwing archetype as a character, ace monster, anime thing. It has the effect that if you were to take effect damage, you can place a black feather counter on Blackwing Dragon instead. He loses 700 attack for each of these counters on him. Then once per turn, you can remove all black feather counters from him and target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and it loses 700 attack for each black feather counter you remove, and then inflicts damage to your opponent equal to the attack lost. So yeah, it's really good against effect damage. No, it's very weak, especially when you compare it to other generic level 8 synchro monsters. But interestingly enough, it did see competitive play in Blackwings for a very long time. Not because it's a good card or anything, but because of a counter trap card called Blackbird Close. Close is a monster negate that can't be responded to and can be activated from the hand. It requires tributing a monster, but if it resolves successfully, then you get to special summon Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck for free. So So yeah, it was good because it was free. It just got summoned to the field with no effort, no issues whatsoever. But of course, it was basically just a vanilla 2800 attack beater on the field. And then eventually Blackbird Close was limited to 2 alongside 2 other essential Blackwing cards. And so Blackwing decks stopped playing Close, and then that removed Blackwing Dragon from any sort of competitive play forever. And so some of my other stray thoughts about this box: there are so many Dragoonity cards in here, especially a lot of really good ones, to a point where if you were to go through this box a couple times and go through their structure deck, you'd have a very competent Dragoonity deck. This box also has Harpy's Hunting Ground as well as Hysteric Party for some Harpy support. But outside of that, man, yeah, there really isn't a whole lot in this box outside of my favorite 2K vanilla beater. Okay, so moving on to Secrets of Ancients, and yeah, it's about the same story over here. So I do have, like, things to say, but as far as ranking cards in my categories, I really only have one, and it's in the C tier, and it is the poster boy, Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon is a generic level 7 light dragon synchro monster. A soft once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 lower monster from your hand, but you are forfeiting your battle phase if you do that. And then on another soft once per turn, you can destroy as many field spells on the field as possible, and if you do, you gain 1,000 life points, and you can add any field spell card from your deck to your hand. Its first effect is really good, and it justifies losing your battle phase. It's a built-in combo extending facilitator. However, it's difficult to always make it useful, and it's difficult to make it useful in a deck that would also have synergy with Ancient Fairy Dragon in the first place. Not to mention, it has the most competitive synchro level that there is in 7. There are a lot of level 7 good synchro monsters, and Ancient Fairy Dragon just wouldn't be your first, second, third, fourth, or fifth choice. And its field spell effect is really good, getting to clear out your opponent's Necro Valley, for example, or just blowing up one of yours so then you can search a more situationally appropriate field spell, maybe even your own Necro Valley. And that is where this card has seen competitive play, and funny enough, it saw competitive play in Blackwings. And it saw play because of Black Whirlwind. You see, with Black Whirlwind, giving an attack boost to your Blackwings is obviously good, because then when you summon them, they can search more targets. And so by using some of the field spell skills like Peak Performance, which puts Mountain on your side of the field, or the OG Harpy's Hunting Ground skill that would put the field spell on the field for you as well, both of them would increase Blackwing's attack by 200. And so for example, Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, who I mentioned earlier, typically when he's normal summon, the only Blackwing you can search is Orochi, who has 400 attack points. But with this field spell boost, Gale would go up to 1500 and could search another Gale. So Blackwings just wanted these field spells to begin with, and they happen to be really good at going into level 7 monsters, and they also don't happen to care about their graveyard that much. So you can probably see where I'm going with this. Blackwings would go into Ancient Fairy Dragon, put it in defense mode with that 3000 wall, blow up their field spell, search Necro Valley, go up to 5000 life points and activate Necro Valley, and that was the best turn 1 that they had for the longest time. Debatably challenged by Evil Swarm Nightmare now. So yes, it had an alright turn 1 play with Blackwings, but one they couldn't even consistently go into because of Blackwing Simoon having a restriction that prevents you from summoning any monster from the extra deck that isn't a dark monster if you use his effect to put Black Whirlwind on the field, which, as I said earlier, is their best combo. And so that is absolutely not why Ancient Fairy Dragon is in the C tier. It's in the C tier for potential and potential alone. I'll put it this way: every good field spell that comes out in this game makes Ancient Fairy Dragon a better card. Thing is, Ancient Fairy Dragon is banned in the TCG, and the reason is because it's an exceptional field spell searcher. Doesn't hurt that it has built-in combo extending facilitation. However, being able to search any field spell in the game is dumb, and it's only not dumb when there's not many good field spells in the game like there isn't in Duel Links. Again, the best one we got is Necro Valley. But Ancient Fairy Dragon will see play eventually. I'm convinced of it, just because we're gonna have to get better field spell cards, and people are gonna find a way to make them synergize with Ancient Fairy Dragon. So it is a good card, and it sits in this category for potential alone. However, to note that it has seen some competitive play is also kind of fun. And then as for the rest of this box, like Paladin Zectron was used in Crystron, we have the Trap Tricks card, some of the only ones that we have in the game. Gigantus is a really good good combo piece for Block Dragon. Verdant Sanctuary sees interesting niche play from time to time. I don't know, there's worse boxes, but this is another one of those really lukewarm ones where the super rares are not exciting at all, like Trident Warrior and Delta Flyer. It's like Armada's Keeper of Boundaries is one of the best level 5 synchro monsters in the game, and he's pretty underwhelming. But that just goes to show how very few good level 5 synchro monsters we have. Junk Synchron is obviously a huge combo piece to Shooting Star, but he comes in their structure deck, so there's no point in going through this box. So yeah, not much to talk about. Basically just, you know, if you're looking to build Blackwings, these are two places to maybe go during the half-off gem sale. But I got to talk about Black Whirlwind, so I'm all about it. That'll do it for By the Box Season 2, Episode 2. Next time, we'll be going over Revolution Beginning and Tornado of Phantoms. You guys are all beautiful. Join the Discord, join the Eagle Nest, and I will see you in my next video.